right, tell me if you can see this.
Yep.
All right. Okay, so let's see, what did we work on last time? Let me just scroll up in our
Here, I'll
Discord.
pull up notes.
Yeah, we talked
We
about waves,
about
tracking people, patience.
patience was a big one that I've
Yeah.
been focusing on, and I've been having a lot of trouble with certain matchups, specifically like Rise, which I don't think I should have a problem with that matchup,
Mm.
is Kassadin. And then also like Varus feels terrible, like really, really terrible. I feel like even if I don't die at all, that there's just like no point in the game. AP Varus just like one shots me every time.
Right. Okay, I could
So I don't
maybe see it being like a rune problem, potentially, depending on what you take.
against Varus, I think Electrocute and Rise Conquer.
Okay. Yeah, because I think versus like both of those champs, tenacity is like pretty important. So like I think you probably want to go Conqueror versus Varus too, just so you can take Legend tenacity, and then
Okay.
like in your secondary tree, you can take like Second Wind for the poke, and then what's the other one? Unflinching for more tenacity. Like actually, can I just open up some runes? How do I just put that over there? Lol rune pages. Actually, I should just open the client, but that'll probably be easier. Well, anyway, we'll use this. Do they have rune pages on here? Yeah, like if you take, so, like, Conqueror, and then you take Legend Tenacity, and then you go Resolve, and you take Second Wind plus Unflinching. That gives you, like, lots of sustain for the lane, and it gives you Tenacity, and you're getting, like, Tenacity from this as well. So it makes it a lot harder for them. I'd probably consider that. I think
Okay.
in general, like, if you like, okay, let's do, what is this? Kassadin versus, this is Talon code. If you're versus a champ that you need to take Resolve against, you normally want to give up Electrocute and keep Presence of Mind rather than go like Electrocute Resolve. You know, like you can go Electrocute Resolve if you want, but I think Presence of Mind is so broken on Kassadin. So if you can take
Okay.
that, you kind of should, you know? So I would much rather have like Conqueror Resolve than like Electrocute Resolve. If you can go something like Electrocute Precision, like that's like pretty greedy if you can get away with that. But I think that is pretty good too. But yeah, like do you have your OPGG? Maybe I can look at a couple of the
Yeah.
matchups recently
Here.
built. Okay, yeah, nice.
I've been like really struggling on Talon this season, which sucks because it's like my old one trick. And I like that's the champion I know the most about, but I have like really bad habits. Like Talon's level 2 used to be a lot stronger than it is now.
Yeah.
Um so I keep dying early on and I'm like,
Yeah.
man, why do I keep doing this to myself?
I know what you mean. It's like, yeah, definitely is a lot weaker in lane than before. And I actually I feel you so much on like the this champ used to be able to do this and now it can't. Like back in I don't know, like season 5 or whatever, LeBlanc used to like literally just destroy everything in lane. And then in season 8
Yep.
or something, they made it so she's more like a gang setup champ. And I remember like when I was trying to relearn her, I just like kept getting solo kill and I'm like, I know this champ sucks in lane now, but like I'm still trying and it just doesn't
Right.
work. I don't know, I keep doing it. But yeah. Okay, so what do we got here? So this was
Like
just
look at these
Pantheon or versus
these matchups the
yeah,
past
okay, that
four
matchup
games
is
like Kong, Akshan, Pantheon, like it's so bad.
yeah, that does look pretty not good. Now, let's see. So if you're versus one like slight little optimization, if you're versus a melee champ that can't poke, so Wukong's actually like kind of a good example. You know, like Talon as an example is a champion that's like melee and poke, or Zed is a champion that's melee and can poke. If you're versus something that they're not going to be proccing your Doran shield quite a lot, you can actually do a greedier start. So it's about like rune slash items. So like in general, like versus melees, you can you can look for Darksteel. And then if it's a hard melee like poker, you can still take shield. And if you want, so if it's like versus melee that doesn't poke, if there's a melee that doesn't poke but like has really strong all in, you can
Like a
start.
Zed or a Talon.
Well, I think like Zed and Talon both poke.
Yasuo,
Like
Yone.
I'd probably take shield versus. Well, I'd probably go like Darkseal versus like Yasuo slash Yone, because both of them are like reasonably easy for you. So melee that doesn't poke has really strong earn. You can actually start Ruby Crystal, because that gets you like closer to your items quicker. So examples of this, I think Wukong would be an example of that, because it's like really strong earn but not good poke. And then yeah, if it's a hard melee poker like Zed, Talon, Pantheon, you probably still take shield. But like yeah, this game, I think you could definitely make an argument for like Darkseal or for Ruby Crystal, just like something a bit greedier.
Okay.
Then this game, yeah, I think you have to start Shield versus Pantheon. That's a pretty fucked matchup. Axion's another like really fucked matchup. You definitely don't have
Yep.
the
Yep.
easiest time here. Although, like, you're not making it very easy for yourself with the runes. Like, this is definitely a matchup where you need resolve. Like, you have to have second wind versus Axion, or the game's just gonna be unplayable. So, like, you could go, say, precision resolve, or you can, I guess you can do electrocute resolve if you want, but like you need second wind in order to play this game. And also,
Okay.
it's generally not worth going Seekers if it delays your catalyst. Like, if you want armor, normally you get it from runes, and then you just buy the health, like here. If you just delay catalyst until 10 minutes, like one, it means your roll is going to be really late, but two, catalyst is just a much better defensive item than Seekers anyway. So,
Okay.
yeah, most of the time you just
So
want
I
that.
I think in this game too, I think I rushed Seekers because like I found against like Zed and Talon specifically, like just getting early Seekers, like they just don't kill you after that.
Yeah, normally I think it's just like not really necessary, honestly, if you have like the right runes and stuff. Yeah,
Okay.
I think these runes are fine versus Yasuo. Like Yasuo's pretty weak. You could probably start Darkseal versus Champ if you wanted. Up to you though.
Okay.
Um, yeah, Cass is another one where I think if you're versus a good Cassio, you probably should take Second Wind, because Second Wind's like really good against dot champions. But if you feel like you're not gonna get punished, I mean, it looks like she kind of didn't though. No, she got kind of destroyed. Um, what's another one? Yeah, like this seems kind of greedy. Like you're versus a poke champ with no second wind. I think yeah, just your rune setup seems like really greedy every game, pretty much. Like Varus. This is another like second wind champ.
Okay.
Yeah. So I guess like what I would say is you should default to like the safe runes, and you should be looking for opportunities to go with the greedy runes, as opposed to like right now it feels like you default to the greedy runes, and then you try and figure out if you can, or if you need to take the safe runes. You kind of know what I mean? I would just like
Yeah.
default to like default to conk resolve, and then like the greediest is like elect precision if you know it's like a easy matchup.
Okay. What about like Conqueror and
Domination.
Domination?
Yeah, you can go conk dom if you want. I think it's just, well, the thing with conk is I feel like, well, I don't know. Conk is a good keystone, but I feel like a lot of Konk's value is just that you're getting presence of mind. So if you don't really like, if you can take presence of mind secondary, I guess Konk. Like I think I'd rather have electrocute precision than I would have precision, or like conqueror domination. But it's up to you, really. It depends if you want a stronger early game or a, like stronger scaling, because Konk's definitely better for team fights, but electrocute is really nice for helping you get like that first kill, and that kind of allows you to snowball. So I'd say it's up to your personal preference. I guess like the middle ground is to take something like Conk domination. But
Okay.
yeah, up to you, I suppose. Um, okay, so look at this. So we're playing Talon versus Kassadin. So yeah, I'd say the runes are kind of greedy. You've got electrocute precision, I think, in this matchup. So like versus Talon, you should either take bone plating or second wind. So second wind is good at like tanking his W poke, but bone plating is good at like kind of dissuading him from trading. So I'm honestly not too I think bone plating is probably slightly better in this matchup, especially because after 6 you can just like trade aggressively with it. But I guess for the very early game, second wind might be better. But either way, you need some resolve versus Talon, because if you're playing a matchup like this, it's like he has to snowball. Otherwise, you're just gonna like way outscale him. If you can like stop him from getting any kills or whatever, it's gonna be really big.
Okay.
And if you do take bone plating versus Talon, you have to be really careful not to just get hit by like random W's. You know, like if you get hit by a random W like this and you lose bone plating and there's no follow-up trade, that feels pretty bad, you know, because it doesn't really do anything for you in that case.
Right.
Okay, that's pretty bad too. So when you're versus, like, again, when you're versus these champs, your goal is literally, if you can get to Catalyst, like, without dying, you're in a great spot. So you can afford to give up, like, a couple CS here. So, like, this one, you don't have
Yeah, that
Q,
was
and
really
you're
greedy.
still walking up, and you take, what, 71, 71, 38. Okay, so you take a lot of damage on the way out, and that's just not really... Like, if you have bone plating, you can actually maybe do... Like, if you have bone plating up, like, proxy bone plating, probably hits it again. Yeah, you take a lot less damage. You probably still don't want the trade, though, to be honest.
Okay.
But yeah, it's like... Talon has to all in to win this lane. So if you can just, like, deny him that, even if it causes you to give up a few CS. I mean, that's just the reality of blinding Kassadin, right? It's like you've gone for this really greedy scaling blind pick, and your punishment for that is that you've, you know, you're gonna lose a bit of CS. But it should be fine. I don't think you should die. It should, like, a lot of the time, punishing Kassadin is more just like punishing his team rather than Kassadin itself, you know? Like, they will push mid and then, like, invade your jungler or whatever. But if they're just staying mid and, like, punishing you and not roaming, like, a lot of the time that's actually fine for you.
Right. I know when I'm playing Talon in this matchup, like Talon versus Kassadin, it feels great until like level 8, and then it just is like, wow,
Yeah.
Kassadin's just a much better champion. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
if you killed him 4 times.
So I think the same thing here. Like, you need to just, like, be careful how much damage you're going to take for something. And if you want to CS this, like, try see it, even take both Ws and just get hit, like, a bit higher up so he can't, like, jump on you as easily. Because a trade like this is not that great for you because, like,
Better for
he can
him.
all in you and you can't all in him. So it's like, yeah.
Right.
And you're just, like, really low when you shouldn't be. And a lot of the time in these matchups, I don't know what their jungler is, but if they're playing any early game jungler and you're this low, there's, like, a reasonable chance you get dived. And, like, you really don't want that. If you like miss, okay, you probably won't get dived by Kha'Zix, but if you miss like 5 CS under tower, like, that's fine. But if you get, like, dived and die and then, like, miss another wave, that's really bad. Especially because it
Yeah.
makes you TP back and then you're not going to be able to TP back with Catalyst or anything.
Okay.
Oh, this Warwick is kind of the GOAT. He kind of saved
Right.
your lane. Yeah.
Yeah, he did. He did. Absolutely.
Okay, so shove this out. Yeah, okay, we're in a pretty... I think our wave is kind of fucked, but I mean, we've lived. So what I'd probably buy here is I would buy... Tier Dark Seal, is that the best? Tier Dark Seal. I actually think... Oh, Tier Dark Seal. Oh, it's really annoying because you're like slightly less gold. I think, if possible, you buy Tier Ruby Crystal. But obviously you don't have quite enough gold. Yeah, I guess maybe Tier Dark Seal is the play, but this is kind of what I mean. Like, if you have like a tiny bit more sustain from runes, and that means you can get like a little more CS, suddenly you have like a Ruby Crystal here, and you can't really get all in anymore. Like, if you once you
Okay.
buy health, you're normally pretty safe. Okay, the Kassadin Rome. Push that guy out. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah, like, I think this is... You have, like, the greediest runes, and you have no sustain, like, no refillable, no ruby crystal, no anything. So you've got to be, like, really careful about any, like, damage that you take, basically.
Right.
Because, like, yeah, you're just never
Okay.
getting the health back. Like, I honestly think you're not playing it too bad. It's just, like, you're making it insanely difficult for yourself. You know, like, you have to... if you have, like, the greediest shit like this, you can't get hit by, like, both parts of W, for example. It's just, like, too much damage. And, like, I guess you can probably
Right.
avoid this if you, like, walked that way. Yeah,
Yeah.
probably. But it's like, you know, we're really getting pretty nitpicky, and I think it would just be a lot easier to, like, have a more forgiving setup.
Okay. I've had a few games too where like I'm 0-0-0 till like 20 minutes into the game. Like my CS is good or whatever, and my laner's just like fucking Exodia because they've killed everyone else in my
Yeah,
team 28 times, you know? It's
yeah,
like, holy shit.
that is sometimes the Kassadin experience. I
Yeah. So
think
I'm trying to find that balance between like too safe and too aggressive.
yeah, yeah, it's definitely not easy. Like everyone always says Kassadin's really easy, but I think he's easy mechanically. His playstyle's pretty hard though.
I would agree. Especially coming from like a very early mid game assassin that roams constantly early game.
Yeah. If you can, normally once you hit level 6 as well, you're pretty fine. This guy wants to go on you so badly.
I know. He's like, he's gonna hit six and I'm
Yeah.
fucked. I was
Okay. Yeah, I mean you've kind of gone through the hard part, honestly. I think I would probably stay here. I think you can survive. Like you've still got Taste of Blood, so that's like an extra 20 health, which is not a whole lot, but it adds up. And you've still got your ult there, and I think if you're going to base, it should probably be. Actually, no, you can't base there. I just think like you probably don't need to just like miss this whole wave. I don't think he can kill you unless like you make a misplay. And I think it's much better here just to buy like how much gold do you base on? It's in 600. Like
600.
I'd probably buy I think just like ruby crystal plus refillable and that should be enough. I don't think you have to like go all the way to seekers.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, we're in a decent spot. Holy fuck, that guy just got murdered. Is this Jack's jungle or Jack's it's Jack's top, I think. That guy actually just
I don't know what like I MIA pinged to myself when I went in, so I thought I did way more damage.
yeah, holy fuck. I mean, that is. I think you just. Probably here, I think if you really want to min max this, you should wait out his lethal tempo stacks. So, like, just slow him and kind of like wait for Camille. Because here, you kind of. Like, if you look in the top left here, like, 6 lethal tempo stacks, they're like halfway dropped when you go on him.
Right.
But then, like, once you go on him, now they're just like. He's like fully stacked with everything, like the whole fight and that makes him just deal like a shit ton of damage. I think if you just
Okay.
literally like, yeah, well, it comes back to like the patience, I guess. If you just eat him and just like kite him around for a bit, try and like reset all his stacks, and even maybe kite towards Camille if you wanted.
Yeah,
Although he might
I
run
honestly
away.
don't I honestly don't even know if I realized Camille was coming here or not. I
Yeah,
think my mental stack was just like topped out.
yeah, fair enough. Okay, I mean it's honestly not an awful outcome. Yeah, okay, I mean that kind of works. All right. It's definitely. Oh, you left base with 500 gold. Definitely another ruby crystal angle. But I mean, you're actually in a good spot now. Like I think Talon's pretty
I
fucked.
was I was hyper focused on finishing my seekers. I was
Yeah.
like, I need 700 seekers.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly don't hate like just buying a cloth armor, but I think going a full seekers is it just like delays the roa too much. Like you only want to be as greedy as, or you want to be as greedy as possible without dying, basically. So you don't want to like overdo the safety. Okay, big damage. I like the Emax now. It's big. The E into W.
Yeah.
Okay, we're chilling, we're chilling. Sometimes like when my jungler like comes like this and like burns the enemy ult, even if they end up dying, sometimes I actually am like kind of thankful because it means that I'm not going to be the one to die, you know? You can like blame the jungler that it's not your fault.
Oh yeah.
Okay, coming mid. Oh, this guy looks dead. Yeah, nice. Alright, we're smurfing. Kha'Zix killed that guy. Push this. Yes, like right here I'd probably buy like I guess you can only buy Catalyst because your inventory is just like full of stuff. But ideally it'd be like Catalyst, Amp Tome, and then you'd be like well on your way to Rod of Ages. Oh yeah, and going like Seekers plus Blasting Wand, it like sort of makes
Natural.
sense because you like, you know, you've got your defensive and now you want like attack, right? Or you want some offense. But the thing is, like armor synergizes with health, right? Like the more health you have, the
Yeah.
more effective health you have. So like if you're going Seekers, you should be backing it up with health, but at the same time, like if you've already got defensive, do you want more defensive? Like probably not. But that's why I think you can just go Seekers and it's fine. And if you want, or sorry, just go Catalyst and it's fine. And if you want to buy like one cloth armor to make that health more effective, like sure, I could maybe see that. But yeah, you're gonna be very delayed on the rower. Even though you're like actually like you've got 3 assists and your CS is pretty good. Okay, yeah, you're getting a lot of gold. I think you're in a pretty damn good spot, so I wonder what goes wrong. Okay, this
This
might be
no, we
it.
we won this game.
Oh, okay. Did you show them or? Okay, you're out. Oh, I'm not sure about the going back in. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm not either.
I think I think you're out if you just keep running.
I could have, yeah, just could have hit that and then ulted over that wall.
Yeah.
Ran to Camille. Yeah, that was
Although is
pretty
Jax
bad.
up there? Looks like Jack's back up the tower. Okay, I think he could have got out, but it's not the end of the world because he can't really take any plates off it. Oh, never mind, they have a herald. Okay, it is actually kind of bad. I hate when that happens, man. When my tower's just like looking fine all game, and then suddenly the jungler comes, just breathes on it, and now it's just gone.
Yep. It's dead. Yep.
Okay. I think, by the way, this is like maybe a little greedy anyway, because like, okay, you've been here like a pretty long time with no flash and no
Yeah.
ward. Like maybe you take that plate and then you go like ward the raptors, or you could even like, I don't know, maybe ward above you. Just be like thinking, I guess, that this is pretty greedy, like no flash, no wards. So you're
Yeah, I
like,
should have just backed off instantly. Like,
yeah. Because the thing
definitely
is, you
shouldn't
will
have
probably get this
re-engaged here. I
plate.
was out.
Yeah.
Or as soon as Talon shows, like just start walking back towards tower. And
Yeah,
it's
that
like it's
works
fine.
too, probably. Okay, so get back. I think we're still... Yeah, I mean, we're like... I mean, I guess, yeah, that death is kind of painful because it's going to mean that, like, you didn't get Rod of Ages on that back. But it's not the worst, I guess. You're still in a decent spot to carry the game. Okay, this is pretty... I think you should be out. Yeah, we maybe have to go on a journey here. What is this guy doing? Nice, nice. Oof. Okay, that is sort of bad. Kills on Jacks are pretty bad. So I think this is like same thing as before. And maybe the habit you should start to build up is just kind of being really careful about being under tower with like no flash, no wards. Actually, we haven't really written anything, but it's your early game. So yeah, just like be aware of your sums slash vision, because I think if like I told you, right, like have a look at your map and we just like pause this, it looks pretty fucking dangerous, right? Like Jax isn't even showing. We don't have any
Yep.
idea where the jungler is. It's no wards, like no flash. It's pretty scary. And as well, if Warwick is doing dragon, which I think he is, that means there's like no help. You know, if Warwick is like in the river near you, then potentially you just like ult back and Warwick's there to help you. But here, there's like literally no help and you're up as far as possible. And you really want to avoid, you know, these like random deaths as Kassadin. I think the other thing is like tier catalyst is like is good for, you know, bad matchups. You don't really need to. I mean, that's like what you're gonna go most of the time anyway. But you can go like, you know, maybe you're like tier Ruby Crystal Catalyst as opposed to like tier Mana Crystal Catalyst or tier Dark Steel Catalyst or something like that. Also, you know, if the matchup is really bad, you can actually go Catalyst tier. You know, there are some Kassadin, I don't really like this, but there are some Kassadins that fully complete Rod of Ages before even buying the tier, and personally I hate it. But, you know, like the point is that you can delay your tier a little bit if you need to. So like, for example,
Okay.
you could go like, let's just say your matchup is like fucking terrible. If you went like Shield, then like Ruby Crystal plus Refillable on the next base, and then you went like finished Catalyst tier on the base after that, like I think that would work. Because the thing is, normally, unless you're fed, you're not going to finish tier, like in, your tier won't be fully upgraded by the time you complete Archangels. Or sometimes it can be. It kind of just depends like how quickly you get the item. If you get it super early, like it won't be upgraded. But the thing is, like the reason delaying tier is kind of bad anyway is obviously because you make pretty good use out of the mana, right? Like it still gives you damage even when it's not upgraded. So yeah, you don't want to delay it if you don't have to, but at the same time, if you have to, it's probably the best item in your build to delay. Because if you can get that catalyst early and just like stop yourself from being killed at all, that's really great. And then also I think just like keep in mind your goal for the matchup. Like this one, sometimes you won't know both champs, so it's gonna be hard, but this one should be real easy for you because you played Kassadin and Talon, and it's like you probably realize, well, like yeah, like what you were saying, if you hit like level 8 and you're even, the game is just kind of over, honestly. So like your goal for this matchup
Right.
would be just, you know, say
Survive.
yeah, avoid damage, like try not to trade. Yeah, I don't know, like hit catalyst and then fight or whatever you want. What else
Okay.
do we have? I think, let me just kind of remember what happened. Oh yeah, well I mean this is kind of the main thing, just like walking up to the tower twice and dying. I guess like that little bit of skirmish
Yeah.
execution with the jacks of like, yeah, I'm not sure why, I guess, but it felt like you needed to play this fight fast. Wait, where is it? I keep skipping it. Oh wait, it's way further back. Like this Jax fight, you don't really, because like the thing with Kassadin is you can always kind of make fights slow, because Kassadin can both burst and just like extend fights. So like here, what you even might want to do, let's say this is like pure 1v1 and Camille isn't here. The only way you could beat this guy 1v1 would be to like spam EQs on him and just ult away whenever he jumps on you, you know? And like even then, you probably can't kill him, but he can't kill you either. But if you ever just like ult
Right.
into him, this is like, okay, we've decided we're gonna make this fight as fast as possible, and that does not benefit you because like, okay, right now, sure, you pop all cooldowns, but now it's like, okay, we have to wait another like quite a long time for our cooldowns to be up. Meanwhile, he's just like beating our head in. So yeah. Anyway, back to where we were. I think it was about here. So this is after our second death. We got Rod of Ages at 1340, which isn't the worst, to be fair. Like you did get a lot of gold from the plates, so that's nice. Kind of caught you back up. The same thing here. What I'd probably quickly do is like literally just walk down and like ward over here just for like a little bit of added safety, and then you can go back to doing this because I think like here you should be fine. Like you have flash and you're gonna have like lots of ults because you have more mana now. But I think just placing that little bit of vision, it only takes you like 2 seconds, if that. Do you even need to flash here?
I think I just
Yeah, I
saw the
actually think you
third part of
do.
my passive.
Yeah, no, I think you did need a flash. You get hit by both of those. Yeah, no, I actually think you kind of did that well. Oh, also, did I write? Yeah, okay, I write refillable. Yeah, and actually just like having no HP plus no sustain in hard matchups is like is really, really greedy. Write that while I remember. So I was like looking here and you don't have refillable, which is like fine now, but you know, it kind of wasn't fine for earlier on. Hey, nice. Ooh, okay, we're smurfing. By the Sorks. Do we want Sorks? What are they first? Um, Yeah, I think you're fine to go Sorks, honestly. Looks good. You could maybe go Steel Caps if you really wanted, but you already have armor from Seekers, so I'm down for Sork Shoes. Okay, everyone's smurfing. That guy's dead as well. Wow, it's just the whole map is winning. Feels good. Kill that guy. Okay, we want to stay for a bit. Okay, let's actually see this. Okay, so one thing you should be like a little careful of is like probably doesn't matter here, but be a little careful just of how much you stack your ult before fights. Oh, maybe this is yeah, like okay. So normally you if you're okay, this is like weird because it's like not an actual team fight, but you want to start fights with like I'd say only like one stack or
80.
maybe two stacks, you know? Like I think three stacks
Yeah.
already means like if this guy runs like a pretty long way, you probably
You
can't
just
chase him.
can't catch up.
Yeah, because like and here I don't think like having it stacked a tiny bit earlier really makes a huge difference. Like yeah, because the thing is since your ult cooldown is so low, yeah, like you can kill this guy if your ult's lower, you know? And because your ults are so
Right.
low cooldown, it's you don't have to stack it up too high. Like I'd probably yeah, maybe just like leave it where it is right now. Or even like be on one. Yeah, maybe just be on one. Because I know that's like a mistake I made quite a lot on Kassadin, is feeling like I needed to stack my ult to like its, you know, very high damage before the fight started. But what I really noticed when I watched Kassadin VODs was that oftentimes people would just like keep it really low, and then when the fight starts, they would just that's when they would start spamming it. You know, they would like start the fight with pretty much full mana, and then the fight would start, they'd use all their mana getting the first kill, and then after that, like they have presence of mind, so they would just like spam it over and over. So yeah, I think this is like weird because it almost, if you watch this and weren't thinking about it, I could see you taking away like, oh, I just like shouldn't chase Talon here or whatever. And like, yeah, you're probably right. Like at this point, you probably shouldn't go back in on Talon and should just leave. But 100%, like if you're not stacked up so much, you just like he's just dead here. Like if you have just one less stack, you can
Then I
go
can
on him
just
like
ult to
right
him
now.
instantly right
Yeah,
now. Yeah.
yeah. That would be
Uh,
yeah, and you get
he
that kill,
lives.
and then Draven doesn't get the shutdown. So it actually would be a big deal. I'll write it down just so you remember. But mid game, that's like another hard part about Caston's playstyle. It's just like managing the stacks and like his mana and shit. So I guess like team fights, try not to stack like too high for the fight. You want like as much mana as possible. I think like yeah, one stack or two stack is pretty good. I would honestly probably just say one because yeah, again, like you can stack it so quickly that you can just like be leaving it on that, and then as soon as the fight breaks out, that's when you start, spamming the shit out of it.
Okay.
Okay, TP bot. Okay, big damage. Yeah, like I think actually this is like kind of bad as well because if like you are gonna set up a gank here, you really want enough mana that you can actually take the fight. So the moment you're forced to ult away here, this kind of means that like now Warwick can no longer really gank for you because you just don't have enough mana to really facilitate the gank. So yeah, I think you should think about that a little bit more than you are right now.
Okay.
Okay, Jack's left, pushes all the way out. Okay, nice. Just come in here and steal this kill. I love it. I mean, hey, it is better on you, so.
Oh yeah. I'm taking everything I can get.
Yeah, I like it. Okay, come on the map. Oh my god. What the fuck? Why is this guy so fast? Dude, what is that, chat? Oh, that's so funny. Okay, we're still getting good farm. Okay. Yeah, I don't mind this one being stacked up so high because, well, honestly, you could maybe have one less stack if you wanted, but here it's like you're literally full mana and like they're already in a fight. You know, this is not like we're not like stacking it on something and then like a random fight breaks out. This is like there is already a fight occurring. So yeah, it is like a hard thing to do on Kassadin. Like I'd say this is maybe the hardest part of Kassadin is managing the stacks. But I guess like the
Okay.
main learning would be just start thinking about it, you know, and like trying to be like, okay, if a fight went bad, you know, how did my stacks look before that fight, sort of thing. It's just like another thing you
Okay.
kind of have to learn. It's pretty hard though, and it's hard to give a like a one size fit all of, you know, never go above this amount of stacks and like yeah, it's tough. Okay. I mean, this game looks pretty damn over, honestly. Okay, the
At this
Medjais.
point, yeah, I think we just kind of roll the rest of the game.
Yeah.
But it felt like it was definitely there was a lot to look at early, and I think if the rest of my team was playing poorly, that we would have lost this game.
Yeah. Yeah, this guy looks.
But thankfully, the rest of my team was just better, so it gave me a chance to scale. And then
Yeah, now you're just
everyone just dies.
yeah, just one-shotting everyone. Okay. Yeah, I mean you're doing like pretty good farm on the side lane, so that's really good right now. Can't remember if we've like talked about that at all, but your CS is looking pretty good given that you have 4 deaths. Okay, I think this is the same thing as before. Like, you have a lot of people coming to you. Warwick's coming, Heimer's coming, so you don't need to play this, like, super fast. You know, like, you've actually, like, altered onto him twice, even though he's, like, fully committed. Like, the moment he jumps on you like that, okay, now he's, like, fully committed to the fight. So you can just, like, kite him out, and you don't have to just, like, stand on top of him and take auto attacks. So, yeah, that's, like, another huge bounty given over. And that's maybe another thing you should be careful about is like consider your bounty when you go for things because like that Talon kill mid where you 1 for 1 with Talon, but you gave 600 gold to Draven, plus you gave him like the
Yeah,
stacks, like that's really bad. And this as well, like I don't think this game is losable, but if there is a way to lose it, giving 1k gold to Jax is like probably it. And if you just like, I mean, if even okay, let's just say your team isn't coming here, and like if you don't kill this guy like in the 1v1, like, what does it even do? You know, like this kill, it doesn't really change the game. It doesn't mean that you get Baron. It doesn't mean that you like take an inhib or anything like that. So this kill is like
right.
pretty whatever. It's just like you're getting this kill because it's a free kill. Um, but like if this weren't a free kill because you don't have your team nearby, like and you'd get given over like 1k for like literally nothing, it would be so like game losing almost. Like
Right.
Kassadin has the tools to just like pretty much never die if you play team fights well. You know, you've got like a million dashes, you get a lot of tenacity, you normally have like a lot of tank stats. So yeah, like if you're gonna die in Kassadin, all your deaths should be early game. Like it's not uncommon to have say like 2 deaths in the first 15 minutes, but then like never die after that.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Because it's like 9, 5, and 5, 100% like you're doing well, but it's also it's not like clean enough that you win, say, 70% of your games. This is like a 60% win rate right here. It's like you're
Right.
carrying, but you're not carrying so hard that like the game's unwinnable and you've or yeah, for them, and you've still given like quite a lot of gold back over to the other team. But if you're just like, you know, 10-2 or something, like yeah, that's really good. And another thing actually is like if you do have a high bounty, like sometimes Zonya will be better than an offensive item just to help you keep your bounty. I think that's one thing that people don't really consider enough is that like not all deaths are equal. If you die and then give over all your bounty, after that, dying isn't that bad because you're only going to give 300 gold. But when you die and give 1,000 gold, like you need to do whatever you can to kind of prevent that from happening, you know?
Okay.
Okay. Okay, nice. Everyone's destroying. Presence of Mind feels so OP. Like, well, when you're in a team fight, you can just spam your max stack ult over and over.
Oh
I
yeah,
did you
so
play when it
nice.
was like whenever you got a takedown, you just like had no mana cost for like the next 5 seconds or something? It was in like
No,
it was in
I don't remember that.
I think it was in season 9 or something. It was like whenever you leveled up or whenever you got a takedown, I think it was like 7 seconds, you had no mana cost. And so Kassadin would just
Holy
like
shit.
literally just go ape shit and fight. It was so fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Okay, well that game's done. So we can probably have a look at the other one if we got time. But for this one, I'd say okay, to work on, I think like less greedy early game because like yeah, you have like the greediest possible stuff. I also think like rune slash item optimization to just like make things easier for yourself. So you know, it could be like defensive runes, it could be rushing catalyst before tier, it could be just like going catalyst and not building seekers. Like there's a lot of ways you can kind of like fix this to just be like a little bit easier for you. I think you really need to okay, you need to consider how dangerous stuff is for you. So I think like the stuff I want you to start thinking about is your sums, your vision, and your bounty. So like if you're pushed up with no sums, no vision, and you have a bounty, like that's really bad. And if you think about these three things, I actually think you'll just find you have like a lot less deaths overall.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Maybe another thing would just be like keep in mind your like goal. Like you can afford to play slow. You don't need to like min-max everything and try get. I mean, obviously min-maxing is good. Like limit testing, I'm fine with limit testing, but at the same time, you don't need to make the game super fast on casting. You can like chill out and it's gonna be fine. Then
Yeah.
yeah, I'd maybe say maybe the other thing would be like in skirmishes, like play a bit slower. So like there was the Jax fight in the top river, there's Jax fight in the bar river. Like a lot of the time on Kassadin, your opponents are gonna run out of tools before you do. You know, like if you play the fight a bit slow, your opponents are gonna waste their ults, they're gonna waste their abilities and stuff, and you're never gonna run out of like stacks or whatever, right? So you can always just re-engage back in. And especially if you decide to start playing Conqueror, a lot of the time on Kassadin, you have to like spend some time like trying to stack Conqueror on the edge of the fight before you really like fully commit to it, you know? So yeah, I think right now you play it like super fast, but you don't really need to a lot of the time.
Okay.
Yeah, does all that kind of make sense?
It does. Yeah.
Yeah, I think actually this stuff here, like just this will make a really big difference. Like if you just get out of that early game like a bit cleaner and then you don't give over so many bounties and like random kills, like suddenly you just like go up a lot
Straight
in
to
win rate.
diamond.
Because this is
Oops.
like, yeah, like you average 5.6 deaths, which is
Yeah,
like
it's
a
pretty
lot,
bad.
you know? That's a lot for a champion that has a dash. So like the 9 kills is great. Like we love that. It's just, yeah, we gotta get rid of some of these. Like I think honestly another thing, obviously playing for KDA is bad. Like I don't like people that are just like, okay, I'm gonna try my best not to die. It should more be like I'm gonna try get rid of the things in my gameplay that cause me to die. You know what I mean? So I would say
Like the
like
meaningless deaths.
yeah, try keep your deaths like below 4, but that means like if you have more than that, or you should kind of like review your deaths and try fix them. Like don't just play for KDA. You know, don't just like hit 4 deaths and then like not leave your fountain and be like, okay, Chuck said stay below 4 deaths, so I'm just not gonna do anything now. Like yeah,
Right.
a game like this where you have 14, this would be one to look at and be like, yo, how the fuck did this happen? You know? Because that is
I
just
can
that's
already tell
wild.
you like that streak was just like I don't even know why like I queued up again. It's just like
Yeah.
why? Like why am I still playing?
I swear everyone
Like I'm
does that
pressing
though.
R with like a vengeance. It's like I'm on a 5 game losing streak. Like I have to take every fight. Like I have to win. It's so stupid.
Oh, we can have a
And
quick
then
look
like
at
the
this.
next day, wake up, do a three, or like the next day when I play, I do a 3 block, and it's like, okay, first game pretty good, second game really good, third game really good.
Yeah.
and then get off for the day. Like that.
Yes, I actually feels so good when you like win all your games and then you just stop playing. It's like if you win one more game, your day's not gonna get that much better, but you know if you lose one more game, like it's gonna be so much worse all of a
Oh
sudden.
yeah.
We used to have this thing
Um.
where when we play like scrims for pro play, normally people would just play like a 5 game series, but you don't play like a best of 5, you just play 5 games, right? So if you get 5-0'd or whatever, like that, that can happen, right? And the thing we'd always
Right.
say is like whoever wins the last game is whoever wins the set because the people that win the last game, they're like happy, and even if you go 4-1, if you lose that last game, like you feel really bad about it, right? So like every time we'd be like fifth game winner goes to worlds, even if you're like down 0-4, and so everyone would like really try hard to win the last one to save the team morale.
That's awesome.
Okay, so Talon versus Syndra, I think this is. What
Yeah.
is going on in this chat over here? Holy fuck.
I should have chat off again now.
Yeah, I go through phases of turning it on or off. Because sometimes, like, you turn it on, it's actually like a good experience. Your team's vibing and like everyone's nice,
Yeah.
and then you have like one dude,
Or it's
and
like funny.
yeah,
Like
sometimes it
the
is funny.
banter's funny. It's not
Yeah,
just like toxic and like deranged.
yeah. And then there's just like that one guy that makes you turn it off again.
Yep.
Hey, is this going all right? Okay, nice. I
So
think this
I
is
mean,
like.
this game.
Oh, you go.
I was gonna say that I like this game started off so well, and then like I died really in a really bad way to their kindred and like gave up a massive shutdown, and then ever since like that one death, like it just my brain just like exploded. Like the whole game just went downhill.
Yeah, because right now it looks pretty nice. Like normally Talon gets kind of blasted in the early game by like range champs until we're like level 4. But here, like this guy's barely harassing you. Like, yeah, you're doing fine. You still got both potions. Okay, this guy's just a free double buffs right there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no.
No, I get him.
Oh, thank God. That would have tilted me. Nice. Okay. Well, you can probably chase this guy too.
I think I tried
Okay,
to.
nice. Oh my God, the red buff
The
slow.
passive disappears at the last second. That
Yeah,
was
that
so
is actual
tilting.
depression. Damn, yeah, it's like he has to flash. Ah, I guess he flashed anyway. Maybe you'd kill him. Would you kill him? You're pretty damn close.
If
Because
the
it does
passive
so much
hit, I think
fucking
I
damage.
might have.
Yeah,
Oh, I know.
okay. Push this
I was just
in.
trying to trade aggressive.
Yeah, I hate when people get double buffs early. Okay, this guy's just dead again. And you got it?
And
Oh
this
my
is the
God.
guy that like just hyper carries the entire game for their team. I'm like,
Really?
how do you like how do you die twice in the first 4 minutes of the game and like you just keep your composure and turn into a 1v9 machine? Like I don't
Yeah, you must get like.
I literally don't know if I could do that.
Okay, well,
Maybe I
yeah,
could
like
on
right
like
now it's looking
Kassadin.
great. You're like pretty damn good CS for a melee champ, and you're 2-0, so it's all looking great. I think this is a bit forced. So when you've got like enough
Yeah.
points on Talon, you don't like the level 3 roam, you don't have enough wave clear to push the wave and then like go kill the jungler, right? But once you hit this kind of point where you've got like points in W, you can't one shot the range creeps yet, I think until level 7, but you can clear
7
this
with
wave.
minion DMAT,
Yeah, okay. You can clear the
which I
wave
do
like
not have.
pretty quick, and giving up like a whole wave like this. And it's like a cannon wave too. It doesn't make sense because you're the one that's like
Yeah.
winning this matchup anyway, and you just give up This is like 150 gold that just like goes under your tower. And so this is like what is allowing Syndra to kind of get back in the game at least a little bit. Like, yeah, that's 150 gold. And she takes a
Yeah.
plate? Yeah, and a plate. Okay, so that was like 300 gold. Or actually, yeah, a little bit more than that you just like lost for basically no reason. So same thing as like Kassadin. I think we said about how I think it was like last time we said about like prioritizing the midwave a lot. Same thing here, like really prioritize pushing and then moving, like if you have the opportunity to. Obviously, like Kindred roam early, like you don't have time to push the wave. But here, like you kill the wave in 5 seconds anyway. So just take the 5 seconds to make sure you don't like lose anything. Like yeah, this already took you
Right.
what, like 2 Ws? So I guess it's 8 seconds is what it takes to clear a wave, which is like not too bad for Talon because you move around the map so quickly anyway. Like, yeah, that's really good. Yeah, like, I really like this one. Look how different this one is compared to the last one. It's like, you're leaving mid, and the wave is still all the way back here. And so by the time
Right.
you've killed their AD, and the mid is only just now killing the wave. So it's like, he is so far behind in terms of time that, sure, he is going to get stuff off this wave, but it's like way less than the last one, where it was just like, you lost the entire wave and he took a plate. Here it's like, sure, you lost the cannon. He didn't take a plate though. And I think that's like literally because you took the time to just like push it, basically. That's really big. Yeah, now you got prowlers, so yeah, I mean,
8-minute prowlers.
it's the same thing. I probably wouldn't run straight bot here. Like, these guys are full HP, and you have a wave crashing on your tower. Just, like, take the time to do, like, 1 or 2 waves mid, and then you can go bot. Especially because by then, you'll have ult. So, like, right now,
Yeah.
this
I just
looks...
noticed that they were like super pushed up like that. And I think I actually died here. This was really bad. And I just didn't even use my
Yeah.
prowlers.
Oof, you're really lucky that Kindred didn't get that shut down as well. That was, like, a shit ton of gold. But yeah, okay,
Yeah.
so things here, it's like you're ignoring midwave, and also like in general, like play towards your jungler's side. Now, obviously not always, but this is like the risk you run of going to the side that your jungler's not on, is like the possibility that their jungler could be there, right? Now I think in this
Right.
time it's fine because even if Kindred's bot, these guys are like, by the time you get here, they're already like half HP. So like, even if Kindred shows up, it's probably fine. And Kindred is also probably not 6 yet, so it shouldn't matter, right? But like this one here, okay, once again, we're playing away from Lilia. But this time, these guys are full HP with like a giant creep wave, and you don't have ult. And Kindred's probably 6. So coming here is like, yeah, you are consciously being like,
Rolled
okay. And actually, Syndra can be coming here too. Because like Syndra cleared this wave. And,
and then
okay,
disappears.
maybe she was basing, but like we don't know. Like if Syndra's down here as well, then it's like really fucked. And then does he hit 6 off that? Oh no, she was already 6. But yeah, I think just like midwave or like 2 midwaves maybe, and then like then go back to doing like whatever you want. Because yeah,
Okay.
if Kindred got this 700 gold from you, it would be so bad.
Yeah. Well, I think he gets 1,000 from me at one point.
Oh yeah, that would do it. Okay, like this should be kills. Yeah. I think now this one I can kind of understand why you go straight to it, but this time it's like, okay, Kindred doesn't have ult, and this time you do have ult. And these guys are like really pushed into your jungle. Like they're, like that Lux is already half HP. Now, if you're just on the map before, you could get this wave and then come to this fight, But because you died and like because you skipped a wave before, now you have to skip a wave again. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
you ideally you push this wave and then you run to this fight. But like you kind of are forced to just run straight to this fight. And now I think it's good to come here. But yeah, like the reason you're falling behind in CS and the reason Syndra's getting back in the game is because just like this random shit, basically. Okay. I think I probably would have based here. So even though you can stay and pressure the plate, the problem is that you want to base in the time where you have the least pressure. So like right now, you have like no mana, you have no ult, no flash, no ignite. So you staying on the map, it doesn't really pressure anything anyway. And the thing is, you
Right.
really don't want to be in base when you can pressure the map. So like if you're basing now, like your ult's up, so you already want to be pressuring the map. But instead, it's like you're in base and you can't pressure, right? Like you're just all this time, like in theory, you could be pushing mid and running bot right now with ult. But instead, you're spending your like your uptime in base. Whereas like what you can do is like right here, just like
I
base
my
right
me
now.
basing there was like really childish. Like if you see what I typed in chat after that too, like I was trying to like fight the Lilia for pinging me to come assist blue and then taking it from me. And I was like, oh well, I can't come. I don't have any mana. So if you would have gave me that,
Ah,
I'd be there. But
right. Okay.
now I'm gonna base because I'm mad. Like this game just fell apart after I died.
Yeah, like I think if you base right now, and this is actually another thing, is when you're junglers doing dragon, you kind of want to stay, but at the same time, like you just like can't do anything. You're better off just like basing and then like running straight to drag, or basing and running mid again and then to drag. Because like okay, let's say you base, let's say you complete this, you're back on the map. I think you can be back on the map around 10:30 or maybe like 10:35.
10:35.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like right here, this is 10:35. You can be at this dragon fight with like your ult up in 10 seconds and 5 kills worth of gold more spent.
Another lethality item and a longsword. Another
Yeah.
dirk and a longsword.
But yeah, like that,
Yeah.
they all
Instead
end
they
up
get the
dying.
dragon. Yeah.
Yeah, and like
Really
no
bad.
one can really blame you because you're the one that's like 7-1 and carrying. But at the same time, like you're doing a
Like
lot of
that
things
was
that
my
are
fault.
making
Yeah.
this harder. Yeah. Okay, push away. Okay, nice. As long as we can get out. My God, going back in. Do you get her? Oh my God, you got her. Damn, you're insane. No, that's pretty worth it. So, yeah, that's like really good because their bot lane should lose a lot of that and you got kills. I think Lux getting shutdowns is like, I think it doesn't really matter that much. I think it's much better
Yeah. She got
if you tactically give the
both of them.
shutdown to the support rather than. I mean, I guess Lux uses gold kind of well, but nowhere near like how Kindred uses gold. So
Right.
yeah, I think that death is kind of fine. Yeah, so this hmm. I think if you okay, you checked them and they're pretty high on health. I think you probably should push another one here still. So I could kind of understand running straight bot now, but they're still kind of far away. And I think if you give up another wave, like this, these plates are gonna fall. So Syndra might just take your whole tower here. And let's see. So you
Right.
run bots. I guess maybe Syndra's scared of Singed, which is like kind of lucky for you. Okay, yeah, I think you probably just do one
And
more wave. Yeah, because like
I
that way
had
your
no
bot lane's gonna
idea
be
Kindred was there.
yeah, and like if you do one more, like Lilia will be finished with the camps as well. Because yeah, like this should be good. Like you have mid priority and you have your jungle nearby, but I think it's just like a bit too fast. And then yeah, so you don't know Kindred's here, which is like yeah, that kind of sucks. Yeah, I don't think there's like that much you can do to play it differently. Although I guess maybe rather than let's see, when do you see Kindred? Yeah, no. I think you do the right thing given that you don't know Kindred's here. And then it's kind of you're kind of fully committed anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would just like do way more like wave and then make the play. Because this is yeah, honestly, like you're doing great, like in terms of getting the kills, but you're also just like giving so much back because you're just like giving Cinder free waves or you're like um
That like I don't think any value after this is gonna come. Like
yeah.
this death right here
Okay,
is when
yeah.
I was just like full tilt.
Okay. Well yeah, I mean there's a lot to learn from this, but the biggest things would I would say would be like feel like I wrote nothing, but I think there was a lot. Maybe I was just talking about it. I think it was like, yeah, like how important the wave is. Also, maybe like thinking about like where the enemy jungler is, because like that's why you play towards your jungler's side normally. It's so like your jungler can be there, and if anything happens, like it's going to be a 4v4 at worst. So if you're going to the side where your jungler isn't, you need to think like, okay, if Kindred is here, like, does this fuck it for me? Maybe another thing would be try base during your downtime. So like no cooldowns, like no mana. That's like a perfect time to base because you can't pressure the map anyway. If you're basing when you have like, yeah, full HP, full mana, that's really weird because you should be pressuring rather than, you know, being in base. So yeah, I guess like
Okay.
just to work on from that game, I would say just like, yeah, try basically think about both junglers, prioritize mid-wave, and then like, yeah, base during downtime. So okay, that's a lot of good stuff. I'll upload it again and just send it to you so you can always go back and look through it.
Okay.
Copy that to you. Any other questions?
Uh, no, man, I think I'm good.
Alright. Well, yeah, you can always
I think
message me
I'm
on
good.
Discord or whatever. But yeah, no, I think having Talon in your pool is actually like pretty good. You know, like when I watch a game like this, like you 100% have the potential to just completely 1v9 this game if you just like clean up a few little things. Like I actually think these things here and also the things from your Kassadin game, like these are not that hard to fix. Like the problems you have are kind of like they're
Like
big, don't
just
get me wrong, but they're
brain
also
failing.
yeah, it's like you can kind of just change kind of a way you think about the game and then suddenly, you know, that's kind of it. Because sometimes I watch people play and it's like they're just like really bad at laning or they're really bad at like skirmishing or whatever or team fighting and then it's like okay, yeah, we can 100% improve that, but it's going to take like a lot of work. It's not just like okay,
Right.
prioritize mid-wave and like push before moving and suddenly, you know, that part of your game is maybe not optimal like completely, but it's like much better than it is now, you know.
Right.
All right,
No, it
sweet.
makes a lot of sense. It's actually really reassuring too. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, what are you right now? You're like gold or something? Oh
gold
yeah. Yeah,
3.
you can escape pretty soon. I mean your Kassadin win rate is good anyway, so is Kassadin getting
Yeah,
banned a
my
lot, by the way?
he's getting, yeah, every time I play Talon or Mordekaiser, he's banned. And
Okay.
the only reason I picked up Mord is because full AD teams.
Yeah.
So if the rest of my teams, like I played one Annie game and I was just like, no thanks. Uh but then I remembered that I used to play Mordekaiser after his rework and I was like, oh, that champion's really easy. I'll just play that mid and it's really actually really good.
Yeah, I'm kind of a fan of Mord, especially versus melees. I'm not sure I'd play it versus range, but I think Mord versus like any assassin or like yeah, melee champ is pretty easy. Yeah.
My
Okay.
CS on him's terrible, but yeah.
It's fine. You don't need CS. You just steal other people's stats.
True.
Yeah, CS is a state of mind anyway. Who needs it? All right.
I mean,
Well,
if you have first strike talent, you don't need it. So
that's right. You just farm champions. Who needs creeps? Okay. Well, yeah, I'll upload this and send it to you later today. And then if you have questions after, you can just message me whenever.
perfect. Hopefully next week for the next one, or in 2 weeks, whenever we do it again, I'll be plat 4.
Well, I'm looking forward to it.
We'll see.
All right. Good luck.
Thanks, man.
See you later.
Thanks. I'll see you
Bye
later.
bye.
Bye.